One of the best things that's happened because of this podcast is inspiring courage, one person at a time, around the world. That's this week on the Badass Agile podcast. Greetings, team. Welcome to the Badass Agile podcast. I'm your host, Chris Williams. Welcome, friend. I'm happy to see you. There's a fine line between recognition and real impact. I like hearing, obviously, when people enjoy this show, but I like it way more when the things that I say or do help you break your patterns of thinking and challenge you to not only think differently, but more importantly, to do differently. Now, before we dig in, let's take a moment to remember why we're here. To create an elite tribe of leaders who truly serve their clients and communities by doing what matters and what works, relentlessly chasing value and excellence like a badass. There's so many resources out there about what you need to do to be agile, but we're focused on who you need to become in order to lead teams. So let's hammer down those fundamentals to create a truly unique and powerful force in this industry. Now remember, if this show helps you, do us a favor and tell your friends. As always, you can find us in the Badass Agile Listener Lounge on Facebook. You can find us on Clubhouse and all the social media, so go see me there. I look forward to meeting you. These past few weeks, I've been thinking a lot about how I can make you more bold, how I can get you to do more, not do more work, but create more stuff. New thinking, new patterns, new results, new outcomes. All of those things require courage. And in the last episode, we spoke about getting out of your comfort zone. This week, I want to talk a little bit more about generating courage. The only way to generate courage in this world is to model it, because you are just one person. You can't make massive change alone. We can't do great things for our industry, for our practice, for our belief systems, unless we do it as a team. So you're going to have to go first. Like a true leader, you're going to have to get out there and do it. You can't just talk about it. You can't just read about it. You can't just listen to it. This is not about just getting inspired about it. That doesn't do anything. It is quite another thing to live it and breathe it where others can see it. Because until other people can see it, they're not 100% sure that great, massive levels of courage, massive levels of action are possible. And even if they believe it's possible, they won't know what it looks like because they'll never have seen it before. This is where you come in. I want to encourage you to try it for yourself this week. Do something bold. Create something big. That could be making a podcast. It could be writing a book or a blog. It could be inventing a new course. It could be adding a new module to your coaching practice. Something that you really want to make real in the world, something that you want to see, a change that you want to be responsible for creating. It could also be something like reaching for a dream job or creating your own role or setting some kind of ambitious goal or outcome. It could also be changing a part of your life that hasn't been working for the past decade or two. And it doesn't have to do with Agile. It could be something creative. It could be something interpersonal or relationship-oriented. It could be developing your character, changing your mindset. It could be something to do with fitness or mental wellness. I want you to make a bold commitment first to yourself, but even better, if it's public, to your family, to your friends, to your audiences, to the world, and then I want you to follow through with courage. Because when you do, you'll be showing people not only the results of courage and courageous action, but the experience of living a life of courage and distinction. This is where meaning comes from, at least for me. The fact that I didn't just live life, but I endeavored to try to create something that didn't exist before, to make a change that was so desperately needed, to make life better or more fulfilling or more energizing or more passionate for the people around me. Can you do that within your Agile practice? Absolutely you can. But why stop there? Why limit it to your Agile practice? I frequently say that I know I've done my job well for a client when people start leaving. I know that sounds awful, like I'm betraying my client, but in reality, I'm freeing people who aren't happy working where they're working, and therefore they're getting mediocre results and living a mediocre life, and helping them find the place where they belong, where the courage to make change is easy because they themselves want it, because they can see it, because they're willing to sacrifice and do what they must to have that change. Now, I'm not saying everyone I meet quits their job. I don't want to talk myself out of a position here. But I am saying that my contribution is aligning people to their most purposeful work. And when you're doing your most purposeful work, it's easier to find the courage. It's easier to do bold things. In fact, I dare say that that's way more satisfying than just leading, coaching, or teaching stuff. Just teaching systems or processes or philosophies on its own is valuable, but it's not as valuable as putting them into the hands of people like tools to accomplish things that are meaningful and satisfying to them. So last week, we spoke about rejecting comfort and instead choosing to do things that are hard, do things that are scary. This week, we're talking about doing that in a way that other people can see so that you can show them what courage in action looks like. And then it becomes your duty to inspire and teach others to do the same thing. You should be having the same speech I just gave you to your audience, to your clients, to your teams in the not too distant future, because this is how you serve them. Do you get it? We don't make people better by making them more agile. We make people more agile so that they can become better, so that they can do more, so that they can chase more of their dreams, so that they can begin with the mindset that any kind of change, any kind of improvement, any kind of creative act is not only possible, but it's welcome. It's necessary. It's needed. It's essential. As we become more global, as we become more connected, I think we become more desperate. We become more average. I won't say we're becoming more moderate because, in fact, I think the opposite is true. But we're spending our energy arguing with each other, trying to find our way to good, to right, when we should be trying to find our way to fulfillment of our dreams, fulfillment of the impact we want to make, fulfillment of the significance that we want to create for ourselves in this world. And all of this started with just a wee little podcast. What started as a what if or a maybe, or who knows, has managed to change 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 10 lives that I can see. And I can only imagine what if it affected more people that I can't see. That's my hope. That's my dream. That's my ambition. That's my purpose. Now, what about you? My friends, thank you so much for tuning in. You can reach out as always at badassagile.com. You can find me on Twitter at badass_agile or on Instagram at badassagile. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, stay badass.